In 1992, Rebecca looks out of the window and sees a toy boat in the pool. She goes to her very sick brother Tommy's room and informs him she has found his missing toy, promising to retrieve it for him. Rebecca uses the pool net to retrieve the toy. Suddenly, a force pulls her into the water. She sees her mother reaching out to her, but when she reaches the surface, there is no one around. She then tries to get the toy again, but something pulls her down. She struggles for a moment and then disappears. In the present day, Ray Waller, a former Major League Baseball player forced to retire due to a degenerative illness, is searching for a new home with his wife, Eve, and their children, Izzy and Elliot. Their real estate agent, Kay, is showing them a house, but they don't particularly like it. Later, as they pass through a nice neighborhood and see a house for sale, they decide to check it out, which happens to be Rebecca's former house. Ray likes that it has a pool in the backyard, as he has always wanted one. As they are about to go back inside, he notices a baseball in the pool and bends down to reach for it, but he accidentally falls in. Underwater, he envisions himself recovering and returning to the field to hit a home run. Finally, he struggles to get himself out before his family rushes over. Ray goes to the hospital for his scheduled checkup. The doctor advises him to engage in low-impact activities, such as yoga or swimming. As they leave, Ray tells Eve that he thinks the house with the pool would be good for him, so he can have water therapy. After a discussion, the couple decides to buy the house. The family moves in and starts to clean the pool together. When Ray reaches down the drain to clean it, something sharp cuts his hand, and black liquid starts oozing out from the drain. They then call maintenance to inspect the pool, and the guy reveals that the water in the pool comes from a nearby underground spring, which is beneficial for health. The couple feels very lucky. Once the pool is ready, the family eagerly jumps in. As Eve tosses coins into the pool, the kids race to retrieve them from the bottom. Ray also feels his muscles relax in the water. That evening, Eve goes for a night swim alone. As she swims, she suddenly sees Ray standing by the pool, but when she takes a clear look, there is no one there. Then the lights start flickering, which creeps Eve out. She decides to go back inside to her bedroom where she sees Ray sleeping. While Eve stares at the pool feeling uneasy, Ray wakes up. She then asks him if he has been to the pool, but Ray says no. Meanwhile, the family cat is lying on the diving board as the lights start flickering again. Suddenly, the same toy boat from earlier surfaces from the water and begins to move around the pool on its own. The next morning, the cat's collar is found floating in the pool, but the cat is missing. Ray removes the bandage from his hand and discovers that the cut has healed completely, without even a scar. That night, Eve wakes up to find Ray not by her side, but sees him swimming. Ray goes to the hospital for a checkup, and the doctor reveals that she has never seen such a dramatic improvement in such a short time. The couple is happy and attributes it to the pool. Since then, Ray has been more committed to his water therapy. One day, Elliot asks Ray to go swimming with him. Ray draws a smiley face on a coin for Elliot and tells him to go alone. When Elliot sticks the coin to his toy and dives into the water, a coin is tossed in, making him think it's his father, but he finds no one around. As he puts on his goggles and dives in to retrieve the coin, more coins are tossed in. He glimpses someone standing outside, but still finds no one. He swims to the area below the diving board where he senses someone above, but when he climbs up to check, there is nobody there. Suddenly, he hears a girl's voice calling for help from the purifiers. She claims to be Rebecca and is looking for her mom. The girl appears to return Elliot's toy, but when he reaches for it, a hand grabs his arm. Terrified, Elliot manages to break free and rushes to tell Eve, but they find nothing and no one around. Later, Eve tells Ray about the incident, but Ray seems to dismiss her fear, thinking that Elliot might be pretending and just needs friends. Sometime later, the family attends Elliot's baseball practice, and Ray is there to assist with coaching the kids. The coach asks Ray to give it a try, which he agrees to, but he falls to the ground on his first attempt. As he tries again, he envisions the swimming pool. When the ball comes to him, he hits it so hard that he not only breaks the ball but also sends it flying into one of the lights. While everyone cheers him on, his family appears concerned. That night, Izzy invites her crush Ronan over while her parents are out. They play Marco Polo in the pool, and when it's Izzy's turn, Ronan gets out of the pool to prank her. Izzy hears a voice saying "Polo" behind her and assumes it's Ronan messing with her. She dives underwater to find him, only to discover that the pool is oddly deep. Suddenly, an entity grabs her leg. Izzy manages to swim back up and finds Ronan, who says it wasn't him in the pool. Just then, her parents return, so Ronan quickly leaves. The next day, Elliot asks his sister if she has also seen something terrifying in the pool, suggesting that the pool might be both helping and haunted at the same time. Izzy advises him to keep his mouth shut because their dad is getting healthier and they don't want to move again. And besides, no one would believe them anyway. Later, the family hosts a pool party, with many people gathered around the pool. In the kitchen, Eve questions Kay about why the previous owners never used the pool. Kay reveals that it's because a young girl drowned in the pool. When Eve asks if her name was Rebecca, Kay is surprised that she knew. Meanwhile, Ray is carrying Coach's son Ty on his shoulders and playing chicken fight with 2 others in the pool. As Ray's team wins, a misty black cloud emerges from the bottom drain and enters Ray's mouth, possessing him. Ray grabs Ty's legs tightly and refuses to let go, heading towards the deep end with the intention of drowning the kid. Ty struggles to break free and calls for help, but nobody notices him. Fortunately, his father sees him in time and rescues him, while Ray is also pulled out of the water. Eve believes that there is something wrong with the pool and decides to take the family away. However, as soon as they start driving, Ray starts feeling sick, as if something is attacking him from the inside. It seems like the pool is preventing them from leaving, so she takes him back to the room. Ray insists that Eve takes him to the pool once more, which scares her. She then decides to drain all the water from the pool. The next day, Eve searches online and discovers not only Rebecca's story, but also a long history of disappearances associated with the house. She tracks down the Summers family and meets with Rebecca's mother, Lucy. Lucy explains that the water in the pool was once part of a healing spring that could grant wishes, but in exchange for its powers, it demands a sacrifice. She reveals that she was compelled to sacrifice Rebecca to the entity in the pool in order to heal her very sick son. Suddenly, Lucy starts coughing vigorously, and black tears start streaming from her eyes. Horrified, Eve realizes that her children are in danger and rushes back home. Back at the house, Ray is taking a shower when his body is suddenly taken over by the entity. Downstairs, Elliot hears the cat meowing and goes to check by the pool, which is mysteriously filled with water again. He sees the cat on an inflated flamingo float and tries to reach for him. Suddenly, a terrifying entity appears, causing him to fall into the pool, and the cover starts to close itself. Izzy rushes to stop the cover from closing, but is unable to do it alone. Eve arrives just in time to help and instructs Izzy to get help. She then dives into the pool to save her son. Eve continues swimming and finds Elliot. As she tries to leave, all the spirits of the pool's victims begin to pull them down. She struggles to break free but realizes she cannot find which way out. Suddenly, Rebecca's spirit appears, holding the smiley face coin in her hand, which guides them toward the way out. Following that direction, Eve finally reaches the surface. Meanwhile, in the house, a possessed Ray starts to attack Izzy, grabbing her hair and dragging her around the house. Izzy manages to break free and runs away, hiding in the garage. Unable to find her, Ray leaves. Eve begins performing CPR on Elliot, and Ray appears. Eve asks for his help, but he grabs her by the neck and lifts her up. At a critical moment, Izzy arrives and hits him with a baseball bat. She urges him to fight the entity, and he recalls the happy times with his family. This triggers him to expel the black liquid, and Elliot regains consciousness. However, as they attempt to take him to the hospital, the entity begins to attack Elliot from inside. They notice the black liquid spreading in the pool, realizing that the entity won't allow them to leave without a sacrifice. Ray walks into the pool to save his family. Afterwards, the family decides to stay in the house to ensure that nobody else has to deal with the entity, believing this is what Ray would want. They then hire a crew to fill up the pool, putting an end to it for good.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our channel for more videos.